So after coming down to that 112K area, getting a nice significant bounce, which we said watch out for, Bitcoin has reclaimed this 116K area off the back of some good news that came in a little bit earlier today. Right now, the crypto market is looking fairly good. We do have a lot of altcoins up 8, 9, 10, some 20, some 24%, as you see on the crypto bubbles right here. But we're going to talk about that catalyst. What pushed us up today? What I look for, or what I'm looking for in this short term, and if altcoins can hold a bid, but I kind of don't want them to, not yet. We'll talk about it in a minute. Welcome to the channel. I go by FD White. Let's jump right into some news. So this is what happened today. Trump opens the door for crypto and private equity in your 401k plan. So the 401k plan, this is something that's been implemented into our everyday life, our everyday system. This is what most people say. Well, not most, this is what a lot of people save in. They go to work and they save in their 401k. So it's kind of like a well-oiled machine to keep stocks afloat, keep the stock market up, keep stock market going. So now all this money, all this liquidity, all this, the well-oiled machine is now opening its doors to private equity and crypto and real estate. I think I saw real estate too. So I'm over on msn.com and it says, like I said, Trump opened the door for crypto and private equity to be in retirement savings through 401ks. It says the executive order doesn't immediately change how people will invest for retirement through their employer-sponsored accounts, as federal agencies would need to rewrite regulations and allow investment choices. That process may take months or longer to complete. But off the back of the news, we got a pump that we're going to talk about. We're going to look at the charts today, and I'm happy to see it. I'm happy that we did get this pump because 114 to 115K right now felt like a bear market. You go on X, you go on just different crypto sites and where people are talking about crypto, and people's sentiment is very low. So 115, I heard somebody say crypto was dead at 114K. That's diabolical. But back to this, it says the move comes as 401k has become a primary vehicle for the American workers to save for retirement, which we talked about earlier in the video, which most employers offering a menu of investment choices among major asset classes such as stock-based mutual funds. The $5 trillion private equity industry, which makes investments into private businesses rather than publicly traded stocks, has wanted to get in this for decades. So not only can people will start to invest in private equity, private companies, things like that. I think real estate was also included, which is not included in this one. And then, of course, cryptocurrency, which it's inevitable. It's been inevitable. We knew this was coming. So the floodgates are opening. The floodgates are opening for mass, humongous amounts of liquidity to come into the crypto market. We just got to give it some time. We just got to deal with the ebbs and the flows. We have to. You're early. This is what I keep saying. You're early. You are early, man. All of these things, and woman, all of these things are now just taking place. You're not a cypherpunk. You're not one of those people who got Bitcoin at $100, $200. But when it comes to regulation, when it comes to all these things that are happening on the back end that really will bring the liquidity in, we are very, very early to this movement. So congratulations if you are here. Let's go over to the charts. Crypto, like I said, is looking pretty good. We are getting a little bit of a pullback going into the daily open. We've been open today for about 41 minutes now at the time of recording, but Bitcoin is sitting at 117.709. So it's looking pretty good. We're getting a nice little pop right now. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. We're going to do Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. We had this huge move coming from 108, topped out at 103 and some change, came back down to our point that we wanted to retest because this was our breakout point. We had a touch here. Let's draw it out for you. And this is why I don't understand why people was getting bearish. Simple TA. We had a touch here. We had a touch here. We broke out. What do you have to do in order to confirm? You have to come back and retest. We got the retest at 112. Took a minute, took our emotions high. Everybody was saying we're going straight to 150, 180, but we came back and we did what we needed to do. We came back and we retested that resistance area as support. Broke back above here, broke out of this bull flag, and now it seems like we are retesting the flag to come back up to our range high at about 120,000. So we wanted to get back in the range of 116 right there. Let's draw this out. Around 116.3 If I can draw it, there we go. And then, like I said, this 120K area. So I think that might be the next move. That might be the next move going up to that 120. So hopefully we can come back down, retest. Seems like we're retesting that now. Get back to this 120, possibly create a higher low, get back above here, blast off, going back towards all-time highs. So my thesis, I'm gonna say this every video. I'm probably not gonna keep saying it, but I've been saying it every video so you guys can follow along and let me know, if I'm right or wrong in the future. I think that we're going to get some sort of a lull to down period between August now and September. But now that we're seeming like we have a 85 to 95% chance. I haven't looked in a couple of days. Chance of getting that rate cut coming in September, I think now people are going to front run it. So we may get some sort of a strong move going into the rate cut. We may front run the rate cut. Markets are forward looking. So I think we possibly can do this. If we come up here, retest this area, this resistance area, break back above here, I think we can make a nice strong move going to the upside, at least getting back up to our all-time highs and possibly getting up to the area that I want to get up to, which is 125 to 130. Then maybe we'll get some sort of correction. But I just don't think we're just going to go straight up. I don't think we're just going to go straight up from here. So either scenario is good. I'm ready for any scenario. Of course, we're trading. Of course, we're invested. If you're under invested, I think you have to just DCA in until at least September. Not financial advice. I think it's DCA in on dips, DCA in towards the tail end of Q3 going into Q4, and then hopefully we get that huge mega run up going into the end of the year, which will be the 4-year cycle playing out. Ethereum right now is sitting at 39.21. We had a nice move coming back down to that $3,500 area. Now we're hitting our head on our rising wedge and our 39.40 area of resistance, horizontal resistance. So we want to break above there. I think the high last week coming in was around 39.50 to 39.60. So we'll see if we can break above that. If Bitcoin can proceed to get to 120 and break out above there, well, at least back to all-time highs, I'm thinking Ethereum could possibly start to go towards its all-time high, which is coming in, I think, at about 48.79. So about $4,880, which we did back in 2021. So I'll be happy to see that. I'll be happy to see that. And even if my thesis does not play out, even if my thesis, and you never just take my word wholeheartedly. You never take anybody's word wholeheartedly. And even if you agree with me, you also cover your butt, and make sure you are buying some coin, not going all in. Because I think if we get one more dip, I'll go heavier, but I'm still going small. Still going small. So if the market shows me that we're not going to get some sort of pullback, we're not going to get a heavy or a huge correction going into the tail end of Q3, then I'll just have to not really play catch up, but we'll just start allocating more into the market as the market goes up. Because the market will tell you what the market wants to do. A lot of these coins are moving, but if we get the move that I think we're going to get in the market, you have time. You're not early. You're not late. You're right on time. A good friend of mine in the crypto space says that a lot, Bill Noble. So we'll see what happens with the market. We'll be here every day watching the market, seeing how the market moves. Excuse me. Last but not least, I have to talk about XRP. So let's zoom in for XRP. Let's go on the hourly time frame. So we looked at this. We talked about this. We made a dedicated video talking about XRP. XRP is going along with our plan to a T. We came down here to about $2.75, got a nice bounce, came down to our point 290, 291, came back up to around $3, held that as support, and then we just basically was up only to about $3.35, getting a small little retracement here at resistance. We have it here. You see we have our here. So this is a strong support resistance level. If we can break out above here, then we'll be looking to possibly come back and boom, look at those all-time highs coming in at about $3.70 for XRP. So if you're a trader, you will want to look for something like this. Possibly look for something like, let's actually delete this one here so we can draw one out. A probable scenario. I've been nailing these probable scenarios lately. So possibly something like this, then we get, our move here. But like I said, if Bitcoin continues its way up to going up to 120K, then I think XRP can make this move, because it doesn't seem like Bitcoin is taking the shine right now. Altcoin, like even if we look at Bitcoin dominance, is sitting at 61. I would have thought that during this low to down period, more more dominance would have went back into Bitcoin. I think that's what's needed. So I will make a video about that. But altcoins have been, holding fairly strong. They haven't been really holding the all-time highs or the strong bids, but they haven't been going down as much as I thought they would as Bitcoin goes down. So depends on how you look at it. It's good or bad. We'll continue to monitor the situation, but be watching out for XRP to potentially get below a bit above $3.35 to hold that, create some sort of a higher low around that support area, and then make our way back up to all-time highs, coming in, like I said, around $3.65 to $3.68, depending on your exchange. So congratulations if you're in crypto. I think, like I said, we talked about Trump signing that executive order. You are a little bit early. We have to just say it. A lot of people say you're late because they look at the price. But when it comes to the regulations, when it comes to the rules, when it comes to all the new adoptions that the government is doing, when it comes to nation states getting in, when it comes to these strategic reserves, and you've been here, you've beat a lot of people to the punch. So you are early in that aspect. So congratulations. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. We are trading over at BYDFI. We have some great welcome bonuses and some good prizes for Bitcoin. If you trade a lot, if you trade high volume, we will give you some free Bitcoin. Link will be in the pinned comments. And I just appreciate everybody. We'll be back at it again tomorrow, trying to live stream a little bit more as the market ramps up, because I definitely want to show you some of my trades real time. And because we've been nailing it behind the scenes, and we've been calling it over in the Telegram. Make sure you guys come over to the Telegram. We've been having a lot of alpha over in the Telegram, but I definitely want to kind of watch my process. And my superpower in trading, before we get out of here, my superpower is how cool I am. I don't really get too up. I don't really get too down. My emotions and my psychology is pretty much intact, so that helps me a lot. So I'll show you guys real time what that looks like very soon. So it's FD White. I'll talk to you in a minute. I appreciate you. Have a good night.